In this video, I'll be reviewing a vehicle dash camera that integrates seamlessly near the rear view mirror of the car. This specific install is for my 2018 Honda Accord Touring, and it's from a company called FitCamX. This company provides integrated dash cams for a wide selection of vehicles. Their ingenious design creates a clean look with zero clutter of wires or additional components to stick onto the windshield. If you look at some of the other dash cams from other companies, they're usually the stick-on type that requires you to run cables, and it actually creates more of a driving hazard than anything else. I'll break this video down into the unboxing, install, review, and I'll provide some additional information regarding the FitCamX DashCam. Let's jump right into the unboxing. The box itself has a nice logo with the 4K Ultra HD icon on the top. On the back, we have some precautions regarding the camera. We can see this product is manufactured in China with the contact information along the bottom. Opening up the box, we have the main camera unit that is nicely wrapped in bubble wrap. The unit itself is made of the same plastic material you would find in vehicle interior covers. I'm really liking this design and the fact that you can't really tell there's a camera without seeing the lens. You can see here the camera lens, which has a protective cover. There are also two buttons. The button with the camera icon allows you to take pictures, and the power button allows you to turn the unit on and off. There are also these three indicator lights. I'll talk about these later in the video. On the inside part, we have a single wire, which will provide power to the camera unit. Peeling off the protective cover to the camera reveals the lens. This lens has a f1.6 aperture and uses a Novatech processor. On the side of the unit, there is a slot for the micro SD memory card to save all the recordings. To remove the memory card, it's like most memory card readers where you push once and the spring action will release the card. FitCam does provide a 64 gig memory card, which is nice of them to help you get started. The card slot also has a cover to help conceal and protect the card slot. This piece here is part of the cover section, and I'll show you how these pieces come together during the installation part of this video. Next, we have a plastic cover remover tool, which will make your life easier during the install process. Finally, we have the wire connector. This will essentially allow you to tap into an existing wire terminal on the car so that you can power the camera as well as the existing component that you're sharing the power with. FitCam provides a small USB dongle memory card reader, just in case you don't have a card reader of your own. There is a user manual in the box, but this is mainly for how to use the FitCam app, which will allow you to access the dashcam from your phone. There is also a small frequently asked questions section, which can help you if you run into issues with the app or the basic functionality of the dashcam. There are no written instructions on how to install the dashcam, but that's okay because there are reference videos on the FitCamX website as well as YouTube videos like this one. Alright, now let's get into the installation. What I first did was remove the section around the rear view mirror. Remember this small piece I showed you during the unboxing? There is also a similar piece already installed on the car from factory. This is the piece to remove first. Take the provided tool and start by prying into the corner of this small piece. These pieces are held in place by small tabs, so you just have to carefully find good leverage to pop these tabs out. Once the small piece is out, you'll want to take off this larger section. You can do this by taking the tool and popping out the corner like I'm doing here. Pop the other corner out as well and pull down at an angle to remove this larger section. You'll see some wires and cables and modules here, but we're not going to use any of these. Next, we'll need to remove the section of paneling where the dome light is. The first step is to remove the light covers by using the tool to pry from one side. Once removed, you will notice two Phillips head screws on each side. Remove these and keep in a safe place. Now open the sunglasses compartment and you'll find 2 additional Phillips head screws in there as well. Remove these screws and keep them aside. Next, pull this whole section down by pulling from the front corner closest to the windshield. Just let this rest here for a minute. Here is a top view of what the wires and connectors look like for this section. You'll notice there are 4 wires. You'll want to look for the wire that has a connector similar to what was provided by FitCam. For my car, this was located in the upper left corner. Unplug this factory connector from the plug like I'm doing here. Keep in mind there's a small tab to push along the top of the connector to release it from the plug socket. Next, take the wire adapter provided by FitCam and plug this end, which matches the factory wire connector, into the plug socket. Now take the factory wire and plug it into the wire adapter end provided by FitCam like I'm doing here. Finally, this last wire will be plugged into the wire that provides power to the dashcam. So the wire attached to the dashcam section will need to be fed through underneath the headliner. I found it easy to use a cable to help hold this dashcam section up while I was running the wires. I simply used a support wire around the rearview mirror to help support the dashcam section. After running the power wire underneath the headliner, I plugged it into the FitCam wire adapter. Next, we'll take the dashcam section and attach it to the factory slots. This can be a bit challenging and annoying because these plastic tabs are a little difficult to get back in. After some struggling, I found that if you place the bottom part first, it will lock into place like this. Now we have to reattach the dome light section. You'll notice that the back part of the dome light section has 2 notches. Take this back part and slide it in first and then push the front part in. Once it's in, secure it using the 4 Phillips head screws that we removed earlier. You may have to do a little bit of effort to tuck in the additional wiring from the FitCam adapter, but eventually it does seal up back to normal. You'll also have to attach the light covers that we removed earlier. It's pretty simple, just line up the tabs to the slots and push back into place. Last piece to attach is the small cover piece. I found that if you pop one side into place, the other side will attach pretty easily. These are all plastic pieces, so it's just a matter of finding the right leverage to get back into place. Try not to force it too much because it could break the tabs. Alright, so now we have the sections all attached and power is going to the dashcam. You'll notice the dashcam will have a single blue light blinking if the power is all good. So now we'll set up the app on the phone and configure the camera for first use. On your mobile device, download the FitCam app. You can easily search for it by scanning the QR code in the instructions manual. The app will be called FitCamX. Once downloaded and started, click the Add Camera button. The app will advise you to start your car to power up the camera. Click Next. The next step is to connect to the dashcam's Wi-Fi connection. You'll have to go into your Wi-Fi settings and search for the Wi-Fi connection mentioned in the app. Here's what mine looked like. The password is a generic password that you can find in the instructions manual. You'll be able to change this password once everything is set up. Once the Wi-Fi connects, go back to the app and you should now be able to see what the dashcam is seeing. In this case, my messy garage. You'll be able to pause the recording by clicking here, and you'll be able to take a picture by clicking the little camera icon. Let's check out the other settings. Here's where you'll be able to change a bunch of things like recording sound, video resolution, and all that. There are some options that are not available, like parking monitoring, which requires a separate unit. Scrolling down, here's where we can make some additional changes, like changing the dashcam's Wi-Fi name as well as the Wi-Fi password. You can also check the firmware version as well as format the micro SD memory card. Alright, now let's go for a drive and get some test footage so that you can see the video quality of this dashcam. I'll provide test footage using the different video resolutions: 1920 by 1080, 2560 by 1440, 2592 by 1944, and 3840 by 2160. The first clip is how the 1920 video resolution looks like. It's not terrible, but there is a noticeable graininess to the video. If I were to pause it at key points where I'm passing cars that are parked, I'm not really able to see the license plate numbers. Even with the car in front of me, I need to be fairly close to be able to see the license plate number. For the cars driving on the other side, I definitely cannot see the license plate numbers. Here's the 1920 resolution at night. Next, we'll do the 2560 resolution during the day. This is a little bit better quality and the license plate numbers are more clear. In some instances, the license plates are still not clear enough. Here's the 2560 at night. Next, here's the 2592 resolution. You'll notice that it has a smaller field of view, but the quality is slightly better. Here's the 2592 at night. Again, the field of view is less. Finally, we have the 3840 resolution, and this should be your go-to resolution setting. The quality of video is better than the other resolutions. It provides a clearer picture and more sharper details. The video quality is just as good, if not better, than some of the more expensive dash cams on the market. Here's the 3840 at night. Just like the other nighttime clips, you won't be able to really see any fine details like the license plate numbers of parked cars or cars passing by, but it is able to get an overall good view of what you're driving through. The downside of the higher video quality setting is that the file size of the recordings will be larger. This is something to keep in mind. I made this table that shows the different file sizes for each video resolution and how long it would take for a 65 gigabyte micro SD card to fill up. You can see that the 1920 resolution generates a 151 megabyte file of a 3-minute video clip. This translates to 423 clips to fill up a 64 gig micro SD card, which is about 21 minutes. When the memory card fills up, the dash cam will automatically overwrite the oldest video clips first. So 1920 gives you only 21 minutes of video before the old clips are overwritten. As you go up in resolution, you can see the total time greatly reduces. I mean, the highest quality setting of 3840 will generate a 3-minute clip that is 531 megabytes. So if you're using a small 64 gig memory card, you will only get 6 minutes of video before it starts overwriting the old clips. That's not much at all. Now, I highly recommend you get a micro SD card with more storage capacity. Here's how much of a difference a 256 gigabyte memory card can make. You'll be able to get 4 times more recording time with a 256 gigabyte memory card at the highest resolution, which is about 24 minutes of video before the old clips are overwritten. If you have it set to a lower resolution, you can get upwards of 84 minutes. There are some annoyances with this dash cam in that when I added the new memory card, the camera had difficulty turning back on. I was unable to access the dash cam's Wi-Fi, so I couldn't configure the camera at all. I ended up resetting the dash cam by holding the camera icon for 20 seconds, and then the dash cam worked fine after that. I did notice in the user manual it shows that the maximum supported size is only 128 gigabytes, so that's questionable because after I did the reset, the dash cam is working fine with a 256 gigabyte card. The other negative is that these status lights cannot be turned off. Now, they're not super bright, but I tend to notice the lights, especially at nighttime. If it was a solid light, it would be okay, but the blinking blue can be a little distracting at night. You can always put a piece of electrical tape over it so that it blocks the light, but it would have been nice to have an option to turn this off in the settings. And finally, the last negative feedback I have is that in my 10th gen Accord, I can see the reflection of my screen in the video clips. The reflection is on the windshield and the dash cam happens to catch it. I think if the dash cam was positioned a little bit more forward, it would not have the reflection in the field of view. Not a big deal, but just something to note. Overall, I think this dash cam is impressive, especially at this price point. At the time of making this video, this dash cam sells for $188 for the 10th gen Accords. There's not many integrated dash cams on the market for that price. I'll leave a link to the FitCamX website in the description. They have a wide selection of these cameras for many makes and models of vehicles, so check out their website. You won't know how valuable a dash cam is until you need it. It could save you a lot of headaches if you happen to be in an accident or just needed the footage to help resolve an issue. I hope this video helps you out. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.